Welcome to the Courting Happiness podcast. This is a space where self-care becomes part of your day. A space where you learn evidence-based strategies to help your life, share it with those you love, and cultivate well-being at work. I'm your host, Dr. Kortni Alston. I'm a former news director, television reporter turned happiness scholar, TEDx speaker, and transformational trainer. I also understand hardships. While working my dream job in television, I lived a nightmare suddenly becoming a young widow after 86 days of marriage. I became committed to learning more about resilience, healing, and happiness. This is how I discovered my area of research, which is positive psychology. Now I'm living my calling of training individuals and organizations on happiness. And my new chapter begins with being happily engaged. The Courting and Courting Happiness is about a true courtship. I like to say commitment with happiness. The K in courting stands for the vulnerability of sharing my story, inspirational interviews with phenomenal people, the infusion of positive psychology, and so much more. You'll learn how to commit to your well-being one episode at a time. I hope you subscribe and share. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to episode 107. I'm Dr. Kortni Alston. Well, there's something that I always make time for. I will admit, I always make time for this. It also helps me relax, I will admit. And other times when I'm in a stressful situation, I will definitely make time for it. And you may be wondering, well, Dr. Kortni, what are you talking about? Well, I'm actually talking about breathing. Breathing, not just any type of breathing. It runs deep. Yes, deep breathing. And an article published in Positive Psychology Today talks about it. And it does a wonderful job in terms of sharing best practices, science, and really great information that will serve you. It's written by Daniela Ramirez Duran. And this incredible article can be found on our website in terms of the Courting Happiness podcast webpage, that is, at drkortnialston.com/podcast/episode 107. And so Daniela Ramirez Duran has done a wonderful job in terms of writing a great article that really provides a good marriage between science and also how it can help benefit us. She shares that deep breathing can combat diseases like cardiovascular disease, stress, and so much more. In terms of cardiovascular, she talks about how deep breathing can help reduce high blood pressure and stress. She discusses the research behind it and how deep breathing exercises improve our psychological and physiological stress, as well as helping us reduce anxiety and depression, and so much more. But I will tell you what really also drew me to this article was how it talks about well-being and what it can do as relates to our well-being. So she talks about how it promotes emotional well-being, such as kind of slowing down the breathing and suggesting that our ability there is an ability, she mentions, to foster positive emotions while doing this. One of my favorite things that I talk about a great deal on this podcast is how to increase positive emotions, and all really incorporating elements in your life that will help in terms of building your well-being strategy. And this is certainly something I would certainly add to your well-being strategy. It is certainly part of mine, and I can't get enough of making sure that I am really practicing deep breathing. I will tell you this, that I love listening to different meditation and different tools to really help serve me. They kind of walk me through in terms of the whole self-guided dynamic. I also love this YouTube video that reminds me of the value of just slowing down my breathing. And it's interesting. The reason why I kind of chuckled is because it's like animated. And it may be simply for children, but it works for me and I love it. And it's really great in terms of helping me slow down. I stumbled on it, I believe, when I was working on my PhD at the University of Florida, and I still leverage it to this day. So in this article that Daniela talks about, how deep breathing can really serve us, she shares different techniques for us to keep in mind. And we'll focus on one for this episode. Remember, you can always go to drcourtneyalston.com/podcast/episode 107 to check out her article and to learn more about the science and the value of deep breathing. So the one that we're going to focus on now, it's directly from Daniela's article, and it's all about breath awareness. Breath awareness, which I think is so powerful and so important to be able to discuss and to be able to share the importance of breath awareness. So this is what she says. She goes, breath awareness exercise is a simple introduction to your breathing pattern, which helps you slow down and enter a relaxed pace of breathing. She mentions for us to be sitting in an upright position or lying down on your back, really finding a comfortable position that you can really leverage to sustain you for a few minutes. She mentions this. Release any unnecessary tension and gently bring your awareness to your breath. You only need to observe your breath. Do not change anything. She also mentions observe the movements and the sensations in your body with each inhale and exhale, and let your attention travel with the air passing through your nose and throat to your lungs and feeling the expansion of the chest and belly. Oh, makes me want to just practice it right now in terms of really valuing the importance of breath awareness. So this is really a great exercise. She mentions you can continue to do this for a few minutes. But one of the things that I really treasure is positioning yourself, thinking about finding a comfortable place for you to be positioned for a few minutes. So she didn't say a few hours, right? We all have a few minutes to kind of focus in on our breathing, in this case, breath awareness. I also really value that she mentions releasing any unnecessary tension and gently bring your awareness to your breath. And I go, wow, this is a clear way of being present. Simply being present. She mentions you only need to observe your breath. Do not change anything. Just focus in on your breath. She also, again, adds, observe the movements in your body. I love this because to me, this also speaks to honoring yourself, honoring your body. I recently had surgery, now about a month out. I just had a follow-up, post-op follow-up with my surgeon just a couple of days ago. And, one of the things that I treasured, even though she was sharing with me, that I could start to increase levels of my activity now, because before I was restricted, I couldn't lift very much. And now I can lift, but she said this, listen to your body. Listen to your body. In other words, yeah, I can go and increase my activity and I can go lift a little bit more, but make sure that I'm listening to my body. If my body says, you know what, this may be too much for us right now. And it's speaking to me saying, hey, can you just slow down? I know, we're still healing. We're still healing. And so I love that she talks about really honoring yourself, honoring your body, right? In terms of observing the movements, and then also honoring your breath in regards to the inhale and the exhalation in regards to this exercise. So there's so much value to really take in terms of really valuing the awareness of breath and really the awareness of self. You can read more about this incredible article by visiting the Courting Happiness webpage at drcourtneялston.com/podcast/episode 107. So I hope you take a breath and I hope you breathe deeply, and I hope you read more about this incredible article written by Daniela that is titled The Power of Deep Breathing, 7 Techniques and Exercises. Breathe well, all. Thank you so much for listening. Let's continue this conversation online. Email us at podcast@drcourtneялston.com. That's podcast@drcourtnialston.com. Join us on Instagram at Courting Happiness. Don't forget, that's courting with a K. Also, I hope you join our private Facebook community. You can find us at Courting Happiness Podcast Community. Our private Facebook group is a safe haven to share, meet more people looking to build positive relationships, focus on well-being, and create a happier life. Now, are you ready to spread happiness? We hope you subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, coworkers, and all the important people in your world. We release a new episode every Thursday. Congratulations on your continued commitment to your courting happiness journey. Thank you so much for listening. We want you to be well, be happier, and be kinder to yourself. We can't wait to see you next week.